of Howell Township Council to order. Ms. Siriani, will you please read the opening statements and roll call?
This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided by transmitting the notice of this meeting to the Asbury Park Press, the Tri-Town News, and the Star Ledger, by posting it on the bulletin board reserved for such announcements in the Township Municipal Building, and by filing it with the municipal clerk on January 11, 2022. This agenda is complete to the extent known, and formal action will be taken. Roll call. Councilman Bonovich.
Present.
Councilwoman Brennan.
Present.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Richmond.
Present.
And Mayor Berger, I believe.
She's absent.
Thank you.
Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Geoghegan, is there a reason for us to go into executive session this evening?
Yes, ma'am. We have items to discuss under litigation and personnel.
Allison, will you please read the executive session resolution and then take the roll call?
Yes. Whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell is authorized pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12 to exclude the public from that portion of this meeting for purposes of discussing specific matters as permitted by NJSA 10:4-12, and whereas the governing body of the Township of Howell intends to discuss certain matters which are deemed confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12, an executive session, whereas at this time, the governing body of the Township of Howell cannot determine the time when the discussion to be held in executive session will be made public, but will disclose the minutes of the executive session when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Howell that this meeting shall be adjourned to an executive session, and the public will be excluded in order that the governing body of the Township of Howell may discuss the items listed below, which are litigation, the fountains, and personnel. Is there a motion to go into executive?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
Roll call. Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Good evening. It is 7:06, and I would like to call Howell Township Council meeting to order. Today is March 1st, and we are in the regular session at 7 o'clock. At this time, I'd like to stand and pledge allegiance. And if we could have a moment of silence for all the people in Ukraine who are suffering, but also for all the people in Russia who are suffering, who don't agree with what's happening. So, and then, of course, all and any fallen hero for any of and all of us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Did you want to read that piece of the executive session, or no? I'll just go into the next piece.
Oh, actually, if I could take another roll call since.
Sure.
Okay, roll call. Councilman Bonovich?
Present.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Present.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Here.
Mayor Berger?
Present. May I have a motion to accept the minutes from February 15, 2022?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
A second? I don't think you might.
Roll call. Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Any reports from the township officials? I have not been here this week, so I just wanted to say I was overseas and watching the news, what was happening in Ukraine, and I know that is not relevant to Howell meeting, but We all have family members of, in different countries who might suffer from this. It was very devastating to watch, and very scary to see that in 2022, something like this could happen in the world. Councilman Bonovich.
Mayor, if I may, excuse me, there is a community service award here.
That's, yeah.
Oh, was that what you were
I was
saying?
excited for that.
Yeah,
I like,
If I may.
Jeff's the best.
Sure.
thank you. Okay. So, the council decided to award a business here in Howell, a community service award. So I'd like to honor Jeff Bassett. If I may read this, and then we can go to the front. You want to go to the front first? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please come up. So for those of you who know, when you go to Chick-fil-A and wait online to get your kids a chicken sandwich, and it probably takes you about an hour or so, it's because of Mr. Bassett over here. I always say it must be made out of gold or something. So for all you guys up here, I'm sure you've been to Chick-fil-A before. This is Jeff Bassett. So Mr. Jeffrey Bassett has been a highly respected and admired Howell business owner for the past 6 years. In 2017, Mr. Bassett purchased the Howell Chick-fil-A and has been giving back to the community ever since. Some of his professional achievements and community service awards include: he won the Chick-fil-A Symbol of Success in 2019. He won the Chick-fil-A App Sales Growth Contest in 2019. He works with the Blue Moon Cruisers, and he raised over $80,000 for the Howell Food Pantry. He worked with and supported the Jackson Marine Corps detachment in 1369. He worked and supported the Howell Township summer programs. He worked and supported with all the Howell Township schools in their annual fundraisers. Worked and supported with the Howell sports teams. He worked and supported with the Girl Scout cookie sales. He hosted a 3-day-long celebration to honor nurses, teachers, and first responders in 2021. And he provided college scholarships to Chick-fil-A employees. He hires, mentors, trains, and coaches Howell Township high school students. He provides jobs to more than 325 residents of Monmouth County. He's a member of our Howell Chamber of Commerce and helped initiate the 2021 job fair, which I did not go to, but I heard was a complete success. He served on our Business Recovery Task Force during COVID. Mr. and Mrs. Bassett have recently announced, their well-deserved retirement. The governing body of Howell takes this opportunity to express sincere appreciation and gratitude for the countless ways in which Mr. Bassett and the Howell Chick-fil-A have generously supported and served our community. We wish you nothing but a healthy, happy retirement, and thank you for all you do for Howell.
This is such an honor to receive this presentation. As was said, Jessica and I purchased this business 6 years ago here in Howell Township. It's interesting, when people found out we're retiring, they said, "Oh, so you're going to move south?" I said, "No, we bought our retirement house here in Howell. So we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere." And I have found Howell to be very business-friendly. And I want to say thank you to this community that has supported us and it's not an hour, it's only 55 minutes. We can get you through the line.
Sorry.
So I want to say thank you to this community, to the council, to this entire complex. We have an amazing team of young people that work for us, that serve you with excellence every day. And so it's just been the greatest privilege of our life to have a business here in Howell. God bless our community.
My pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure.
I know, why don't she?
Well, she's not going to say anything. I see 5 DOCs that we need to give out before we leave.
Bring us some chicken sandwiches for dinner.
Are we set with that, Jessica? All right, come on up, honey. But thank you very much. God bless you all.
I just feel compelled to say that not only has Mr. Bassett given us a business that's not only excelled, but that everybody in the town loves, he is one of the most compassionate family people that I've ever met. So we were very lucky to have him with our business. His family is very lucky to have him and their family, and I'm very happy that they will continue to live in Howell at Echo Lake. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Oh, are we up? Hey, real quick, that operation is like no other, and we all seen that. Now that you're retired, I gotta ask, I mean, can you fix like the global supply chain or something? I mean, you run an amazing business, and you're such an asset to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bassett. All the box. Yeah, she doesn't give it to me.
I would like to go back to reports of the officials. So, Councilman Bonovich?
I'm good. I'm excited to hear this proposal for Soldier Memorial, and I think that's why everyone's here. So I'll move it on if anyone else has something to say. I'd like to get to that.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yep, very quickly. Let me say that the senior center is still looking for volunteers, especially in the kitchen. Anyone interested, please contact Melanie Decker. Her extension is 2555. As an aside, I will say that their activities has exceeded over 2,500. So we're very lucky to have a senior center that is very active and serves much of the community. Also, we do have a new business that's now open, the Mind, Body, and Soul, which is over in Roseland Plaza, I believe. So that business is now open, and I hope everyone visits them. And the rest can wait. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor?
I had a couple of things, but I'm with Councilman Bonovich. I have families and kids are here, so we'll get to the Soldier Memorial, which I concur. I can't wait. I'm excited to see the concepts.
Councilwoman?
The only thing I wanted to mention was that, I think this is
Yeah.
on, is that I know that tomorrow is Read Across America Day, so I hope that the children in the audience enjoy their festivities tomorrow, because I know that our Howell Township schools do an excellent job celebrating that. So parents and families to read tomorrow, like we do every day. But again, I just wanted to recognize that, because I think our schools do a phenomenal job celebrating.
Good point.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Mr. Geegan, did you want to hold off?
Sure, Mayor. We can go
What-
right to the presentation if you'd like.
Okay.
I just did want to comment. Well, we have Mr. Bennett Matlick here from CME to give a presentation. I have been getting, over the weekend, numerous emails from various residents, all overwhelmingly asking for support for this project. So I've been forwarding them to the governing body as they've been coming in, but all told, probably several dozen emails, so. you give me a moment, I got to set up the presentation here for him.
No problem.
Am I in anyone's way up there? Or is that, good?
I gotta move them one by one. Yeah, it's had them in order here, but I can't move them like that. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Ben Matlack. I'm with CME Associates. I'm here today to talk to you about Soldier Memorial Field and the proposed restroom building that is being proposed in this location. What you're looking at right here is just an overall aerial of the park. That's Lakewood Farmingdale Road on the left side, the intersection with Maxim Road. And we're proposing a restroom building, a centralized location, right in the middle of the park there. As I'm sure you're aware, this is a very well-attended park. You've got a number of sports fields, 5 Little League softball fields, and 10 soccer, lacrosse, field hockey fields that I can count at least, just looking at it. I'm sure you can probably squeeze a couple more in there when you need to. It's my understanding that when you have big events here, such as Howell Day, you have about like 12 porta-johns that you have to bring to the site. So that's one of the reasons why we're proposing this project in the first place. If we could switch to the first concept. Thank you. So this is our first concept plan. At the top there, you can see on the right side is where the building is going to be, and the lines going across are the utility lines that need to be brought to the building. Down at the bottom, you can see the little bit more blown up portion. There you go. A little bit more blown up layout. The first one is we're proposing a restroom building with 6 stalls for both the men's and the women's room, 12 total, plus 1 family ADA accessible restroom, separate room. It's also got an electrical room, a storage area, and then in the center is a utility chase where all of your utility lines run. There's also a proposed overhang at the end of the building where you have a picnic area, seating for picnic tables. There is a water fountain proposed there. You'll have some refuse containers, just decorative garbage cans. And that's a 25 by 25 area, and you have a concrete sidewalk all the way around the building. If we switch to the next plan, this is, actually, can we go to the layout of the building? Probably the 4th one up there. Oh, there you go. So this is the interior layout. Like I said, there's 6 stalls for each men's and women's. The 1 ADA accessible family stall is there at the top right corner, and next to that is the electric room and then the storage area. The storage area would have a roll-up door, so you could get equipment in and out or larger things that you need to store. And then on the right side, excuse me, on the left side is your overhang where your picnic area would be. We went through a couple of design iterations with your community development director, make sure that the doors to the restroom building don't open out right out onto the picnic area, and that is further facilitated by the sidewalk that goes all the way around the building. If we go to the next one, next concept.
Is there overhang on the sides as well?
There's a 1-foot overhang on the sides of the building. It's just like you would have, around your house. Nothing more than that. And then the next concept is the same layout, but this is a smaller building. This one has 4 stalls each, men's and women's. The same family ADA accessible restroom, same storage area, electric utility room, and then your same picnic area. The dimensions are only about 10 feet shorter for this one, just for the one less stall for each, or excuse me, 2 less stalls for each men's and women's. And then the same layout there, 4 in each, and same overhang, same 1-foot overhang around the sides of the building. And your storage area and electric are not any different. If we go to the next one, this is a sample of same style building that was installed in Marine Park in Red Bank. So this is what you would be getting. You'd have options for colors and things like that. Your roof colors of your shingles, the side could be painted, or you could have different rock patterns or bricks or whatever you want. But this is essentially what it would look like. This one actually is a little bit smaller than the one that we're proposing. This is 3 stalls per men's and women's room, and no ADA accessible. There's another shot of this same building, just to give you an idea. That's the roll-up door for the storage area on the side. And the picnic area is the same size. It's about 25 by 25. Now, our last concept is a lighting plan, conceptual layout. This is something that was brought up recently that the township was interested in. We've got a electrical cabinet kind of right in the center there. Yep, right there, which is close to where the new proposed building is going to be. And we're running conduit and wiring to 2 softball fields and 2 soccer fields for sports lighting. We always use Musco Sports Lighting. They're the industry leader in their field. And they work with us through conceptual design, through construction. They're very reputable, and they are the best. And that's what we recommend. Now going to getting to a cost breakdown. If we talk about the...
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I do have a question.
Sure.
So, in just coming back from Europe, many of the restrooms are unisex. Is there any way that we can make the restrooms unisex, given changes in social changes today with everybody? I was just wondering if there's a way that you can do something like that.
Typically, when you do that, the stalls are individual stalls. Basically, you would have all of the family ADA restroom rooms or stalls. If you could go back to the layout
Actually,
of the...
honestly,
Okay.
they weren't. They were just regular stalls. There were just no men's urinals
Yeah.
anywhere, but they were just regular. I mean, we just stood next to each other washing hands.
Okay. That can certainly be done if that's the way the town wants to go.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
as a, if there's a way that we somehow incorporate it.
Yes, there definitely is. Essentially, you'd have 2 women's rooms, at least the layout would be, because you would have no urinals. It would just all be stalls, individual. And you could have the same number of stalls per side. You'd still have either, in our proposal, 8 or 12, and the family ADA accessible one as well. So that's definitely an option.
I don't know if anybody here is interested in that. I was just interested in knowing, relax, in knowing if that was a possibility.
Mrs. Mayor, if we were to do that, we would probably be looking at a completely new concept, because right now, we have two separate areas. We do have the family area, so that's kind of maybe your unisex specific spot. If we were to do that, I think having two separate rooms would probably not be needed, and you'd be rerunning your utilities. It would probably take a brand-new design.
Well, I mean, as long as you could call that family restroom, a unisex restroom.
Sure.
As well, I mean, then I would feel like we accomplished
Sure.
something.
I think that's definitely doable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you.
Sure. So I wanted to just give you the construction cost estimates. For the building, we have the two concepts. Concept one was six stalls per side. Concept two, 4 stalls per side. Concept one, our overall construction cost estimate is $925,000. Now, I want to point out that $200,000 of that is just to bring utilities, water and sewer, to the building site. That's a much larger portion than what you would typically see, but we have 1,100 feet to travel for water line and a sewer, small force main and pump station to tie into the sewer line in the road. For the concept two, the 4 stall, you're looking at about $810,000. And same thing, $200,000 of that would be just bringing the utilities to the building site. Now, when we look at the lighting, that was broken down into a few different options. Option one was when we were putting together estimates, we considered 1 softball and 1 soccer field to be lit. That option was around $700,000. Option two would be to have 2 soccer fields and 1 softball for about $1 million. And option 3 is 2 softball and 2 soccer. And that is about $1.3 million. As I said, we would recommend Musco lighting. We would put together a design with their assistance. We would have to evaluate your electric service to the site, the electric panel that's out there, the cabinet. It would likely need to be upgraded for the sports lighting, but that's all included in these estimates. And are there any questions?
No, I just want to bring up to the public that, and Matt maybe can add to this, out of the, either whatever concept we do go with, 250,000 is, we have a grant from the county. So if you hear 900, take 250 over it. So maybe it's a little bit easier to digest. It's expensive, it's government, but just like the gentleman said, it's 200,000 just to get the utilities there. That's no building. But we're getting 250,000 from a grant that if we don't act on it, that grant goes bye-bye. So right now we have 250,000, next year we will not. So I just want to bring that up.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I meant to say that, and it slipped my mind.
To add on that, Councilman, the balance will be paid through open space funds, so it will not be part of
That was my follow-up.
the tax bill.
It's not going to increase anyone's taxes. How much do we have in the open space fund, Lou?
I believe the last I looked, there was about 4.2 million.
4.2 million. So your taxes don't go up with any of the buildings or any of the concepts, just to let everyone know.
And just to give some background on the due diligence that was done here, previous design was created prior to COVID. That was significantly more expensive. What we had tasked Ben here with doing was finding alternative options that A, met the timeline to still be eligible under the grant, and B, lower costs. So this is a prefab building. That was one of the options. Keeping it centrally located was important in the park, so we are still kind of stuck with those utility costs, but overall, that's far better than having a septic system that will have a maximum capacity to it. So we have tried to control costs as much as possible. The two options for the smaller building and the larger kind of shows that as well, and we feel this is, kind of with our timeline and what we're looking to get, this is the best options.
Everyone's quiet.
I had reached out earlier, last week when we got these proposals. Always have that off. I had reached out earlier, to just get a handle on these proposals, because at first blush, I'm thinking, well, I could build a house for a lot less than what it's costing for a couple of bathrooms. But I was satisfied with the explanation. And again, it is government, it is a public building, it's not the same standard, so I certainly do appreciate that. But I think it's important for everyone in the audience to understand that too, that the standards are certainly higher of the building materials, everything that goes into this. There's a lot more to it, and that brings along that price tag. But I do appreciate the work, and I think the concept is great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, to add to that, the building is made out of concrete, so this is built to last. It's meant to be a public building, which is much more indestructible than a stick-built home. It's intended to be, not intended to be abused, but it can handle more abuse than what you would see for something in your backyard. And it's prevailing wage labor that you're paying for public work, so that also just adds a lot more to the cost.
Certainly.
I have another do you have anything?
No, I was just gonna say, my kids break all my lights with their soccer ball, so I get it.
So I have a question. If we wanted to add some playground equipment to this, is there a way that does that fall over under the open funds as well?
Yes, it would be paid for through that, but it would be entirely separate project other than the building and lights.
We have equipment there, don't we?
There
Yeah,
is some.
there is a-
and
There's
we're
some,
working
but
on a
there's
plan
not.
to
I'd like to add some special needs equipment, some
Yeah,
handicap
That should be all
equipment,
our
Absolutely.
parks, yeah.
so
I think that's yeah.
it's needed.
If I can ask, and I apologize for not asking this sooner, because we do have the two different concepts with different number of stalls. Do we have any data on what the usage is out there? And I know that, thank you for sharing that historically we've had 12 porta-johns out there for the bigger events such as Howell Day. I don't know what it looks like if we actually can now attract a soccer tournament or something of that ilk. Would either of them suffice, or?
We took Howell Day as one of the more intense uses. I think there's a lot of people in the audience that could probably speak to the ongoing use, and I'm sure they will. So we sized it with the larger building. We sized that to plan for Howell Day and a similar size events, which we think is the max that you're gonna see.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question, and I guess we'll take a consensus, but I see that there's some sporting organizations here and look like they're ready to speak, so would it be okay if we heard from some of them and got a little bit of the input of?
Before we did that, I was going to ask if council wanted to do a straw poll to see if we want to move forward with the project.
Oh, I'm in. I think we need to discuss, we're definitely gonna do the building. I think if we're gonna go for it, we go for the larger building. We could have a lot more tournaments. Tournaments bring money. We have tournaments there. And, people driving out of state and they're using porta potties. So I'd like to see the larger of the two as far as the lights, I think that's something that we should all discuss together. I'm fighting myself how much lights, because Musco is not cheap.
So I just have a couple of questions and concerns that I know some emails I got separately. But, we had porta-johns there anyway. Township was paying for them, getting rid of them. They're disgusting. We've all know that. So the keep up and the maintenance and, I guess, janitorial supplies that are gonna be needing that, that was a big concern. So who would be maintaining and cleaning? And I never know the answer, but just for the record, it's for clarification.
That would be done through our Public Works Department. Currently, the porta-johns are generally maintained by the companies that they're contracted from, which usually constitutes to maybe once a week cleaning, maybe. I'm sure everyone can attest to the cleanliness of them, but this building would more than likely be maintained by our Public Works employees.
Okay. The lights, I'm not quite sure where we are, what we decide, if we decide or not. Who would absorb the cost of the electricity that would be provided and what those costs potentially might be?
Currently, we charge for the light usage in the other fields, so I would imagine a similar arrangement. You know, if the leagues want to have nighttime games and they're using the lights, they would be paying the township for that usage.
So you would revamp their lease that they currently have to match something similar to the baseball teams? Because that was a concern. A lot of stuff I've been hearing is, you know, the football league and the baseball league, and why is Soldier Memorial getting this, and why soccer and lacrosse? Well, you know, to answer that question, and I've talked to a couple of professionals about that, all of those other fields have lights, and they all have bathrooms. They all have concession stands. Soldier Memorial is probably the biggest used sports field. Like I said, I called it the crown jewel, and I got reprimanded for that. But it is a beautiful place that I think needs to be some beautification. And I think with all the kids which you can see some here now, they play there. They've been being really resourceful and bringing their own lighting and stuff like that on their own for so long, while these other sports teams, and I'm a baseball mom, so I know my son plays under the lights all the time, and I think it's pretty unfair when we don't offer the same for them. And while we're not Manalapan and Wall and all these other facilities that everybody compares us to, you know, we're not there yet. I mean, I think it's great that the council is working on getting there, but we're being crucified for wanting to give some of our families and sports teams, you know, some a little bit extra that these other sports teams already have.
So does that mean you would vote yes on this?
I kind of have to think about it. Yes, sure, of course. I mean, I just want to throw those things out there because these are concerns that people are bringing up, and it's not fair, and who gets this and who gets that. I think they've sat on the sideline for a long time, no pun intended on that one. And you know, they were resourceful, like I said, and I understand there's a cost to everything, and I think that speaking to a lot of the sports presidents and stuff, they're all willing to work with us, talk about leases and who's mowing their field and who's fertilizing, and I think that everybody's, coming together to make sure that this happens, not just for now, but for the future of Howell and Howell Day and whatever else, you know, maybe we do the tree lighting there, maybe we do a winter fest, you know, it brings so much more to us, and instead of us having to go to all these other towns and bring in some money for these teams.
You might even be able to put the farmer's market there,
Exactly, yep.
which would be amazing.
I'd like to add also just, you know, with Richmond just said, you know, we go to, I take my kids, we go to every other park. And then when I go to Howell, all I hear from all the volunteers is saying, Howell's parks used to be the best. And we let them go. So tonight, this is a start. And visiting the other parks, I mean, this is the Soldier Memorial. We got Central with bathrooms that are failing. You know, we got a lot to do, and no one's going to be left out. This is just a start. So just want to let you know, you said who's getting this, who's getting that. Everyone's going to get a little something, but this is where we're starting at.
Agreed.
Eric, I have a question.
Please.
So going back to Mr. Bonovich, Councilman Bonovich's question or point about supporting the larger of the two buildings, I'm just curious, because these are prefab buildings, if we went with a smaller option, it would be very difficult, I'm imagining, to retrofit and add on to that. So whereas with the lighting, would it be possible if we chose to do two fields, I presume that would be easier to add on down the road if we didn't want to absorb that expense. I'm not sure which way I lean on this. I just want to gather the information. One would be very difficult to add upon, whereas the other, the lighting, might be easier to add upon down the line. Is that fair?
Yes, definitely with the prefab buildings, you really can't add on make one 4-stall to 6-stall, because it comes in, 3 or 4 modular pieces delivered. You build a foundation, and they put up the building all in one day. It comes fabricated, and it just drops into place. If you wanted to expand it, you're breaking concrete walls and excavating, digging foundation, having to bring a crane in to move portion of the building. You're better off ripping the whole thing down and starting over. So that's really not an option. With the lighting, you're absolutely right. You can phase lighting like that. We can run spare conduit for a minimal cost. If you only wanted to light 2 or 3 fields at this time, we could run conduit to facilitate future expansion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a comment. First, there's absolutely no debate on whether or not there's a need for this building. That's clear. There's no debate on whether or not we need toilets and running water for hygiene. That's clear. I think one of the good things about this, first of all, it's open space money, although it may seem like a lot of money, including the lights. We can always add a penny to open space on referendum or on an election, which may be a consideration for the future. If we were to do lights, I almost would think that if you're going to do it, let's just do it right. Let's put up the buildings, let's do the bathrooms, let's do all of the lights. Let's just actually get this completed, because this is one of the few projects, although there are sports fields, I think it's important for everyone to realize this is something that we'll be using for other activities. The farmer's market, Howell Day, tree lighting, and other events that may come down the road. This is actually something that everybody in town will enjoy. So this may be the best bang for the buck that we've seen in quite some time.
So can I would like to add on that and say, I would like to have a part 2 to this, and we need bleachers then, I would
That's already, I
think.
think, being discussed, right, Matt?
And add on to the playground and have a playground area for special needs kids. I think that's,
Absolutely.
let's make this that park.
I think that's something we discussed already, so that's certainly in the works.
You good, Mayor? Can I?
Yes.
I have something to say. And I think this might be a question, I'm not sure for you, but maybe for Mr. Howard. And I had mentioned this earlier, you kind of had a little clarification for me about the propane and how seasonal this facility will be. Will it be heated, and how is it being heated? And, all that other stuff that no one really thinks about, because obviously propane or, I'm sorry, I'm not sure who could answer that question.
I can
Okay,
answer.
thank you.
So this is a 3-season building. It's not intended to have heating. It's intended to be winterized. Mr. Howard and I have had discussions about possibly doing kind of an aftermarket add-on of doing a propane tank and heating it with individual heating elements in the building, which we've talked to the manufacturer about. That's definitely possible, and it's something that you can do to extend the season, basically, of the building. I would say that in this time of year, December, January, February, probably you're going to shut it down and not going to use it, because the park isn't going to be getting used at that point. So that it's, like I said, it's a 3-season building, but you can add on to extend the seasons or extend the playing season, however that lines up with your schedules.
Well, my concern is not a concern, but my thought process is if we talked about doing a winter fest there, possibly our tree lighting, obviously that's in December. Everybody can see that the last couple of days, Mother Nature's been playing games with us, so they will get used on hopefully, February when the weather cooperates sometimes. So to have a 3-season, I don't think we're getting the best use out of it when we talk about doing a winter fest or tree lighting or having a 60-degree weather day in February. So what would it?
Hearing these ideas,
Yeah.
we'll definitely look into putting some more substantial heating into it to extend the season, to extend it year-round if possible.
Yeah, you can
Hearing the importance of
Yeah.
that.
Opening day could be 30 degrees.
Yeah, right? The soccer kids are used to that, so they play in everything, right?
Absolutely.
That answers my question. Thank you.
Are we good? Now should we After you've asked our questions, we go for a straw poll?
Well, I'm in for the larger building. I figure, you know, with their 800 to 900, you're getting more stalls. What's the difference? We're here. It's open space money. Let's do it right. It's long overdue. Residents deserve better than that, and then I'm okay with the larger of the two.
Councilwoman?
I agree. I think if we're going to do it, we got to do it right off the bat, especially since, I always do this. I always turn it off. I totally agree with doing the larger building. When you do it, you got to just do it right. I appreciate the input saying that this is an appropriate size. I definitely want to make sure it is, that it's sufficient for our teams and everybody who comes to town. I think it's a fantastic idea. We don't have a town center, but this could start to become a hub. And that's something that's really exciting. That's something that I think Howell is lacking. So I think the idea and concept of having a place that we can start doing other events in addition to all of our sports teams being able to enjoy using the fields, I think it's phenomenal. So I'm definitely all in for the larger building as well.
Councilwoman?
Larger building and do the lighting right along with it. Just do everything at once.
Let me think here for a minute. I think that with all the consensus from all the emails and all the people that came out today, with working with this council up here, I agree. We tried doing something back in 2019, Councilman Bonovich?
Prior to that, yeah.
Prior to that,
right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, that was one goal that we wanted to do, and I think this was a nice concession, no pun intended again, but I love it. I think you guys deserve it. I think Howell needs it. And I'm all for more, let's get it all done, all at once, one time. I do want to know, if we decide to go with either concept, are we looking at, sorry guys, fall? Are we looking at spring?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, next spring or fall?
We would try to get it for fall, but, you know, supply chain issues are real, and it's something that we deal with. I've been dealing with it for quite some time. Right now, and we can push the plans and get a contract awarded as quickly as possible. It's at least 10 to 12 weeks for manufacturing of the building, and those times could grow. We're kind of in uncharted territory right now, so it's. I'm trying to be optimistic.
You can
to
say
that
it,
we can
you
do
can
it
say
in
it. It's not
fall,
going to be
but
this
it could
summer, but
spring.
that's fine.
It's not going to be this summer.
It's not going to be this summer. I just don't want to give anybody false hope that they're planning on their seasons and making their schedules and stuff. So I want to be fair to the sports teams. And also with the county matching sewer, I want to make sure that have a good timeline for that as well. So at least Fall League, it looks like it may happen then when the lights are really needed because it gets dark early. So that's a good answer.
We're going to coordinate with the leagues too to try and minimize impact as much as possible.
Fine. I think everything
So
included, more bang for our buck.
I would like to say, I would go for the larger building, I would go for the electricity, and I would also ask for the concept plan for the other portion of the program. And then the other thing I would like to say is this is the first time in a very long time that this council sat here and spoke about a positive project for Howell without screaming and yelling and nastiness coming out of the audience. And I have to say, this is like one of the first times that I'm actually proud to sit with the people up here at the dais. So even if it's just for this one little second, this one little gem, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And it feels good to hear clapping rather than.
Yeah, booing.
Yeah.
Please.
Just very briefly, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out, because it makes a difference. I don't know if any of you are the folks who actually sent us the emails, but I went through them, and it was voluminous, and it was amazing. And it's so exciting to see the feedback, because that's really important to us. Believe it or not, we actually want to hear from everybody. For me personally, it's really important to hear from everybody, all of the residents, about what they're concerned about. So clearly, this is something that was very important to everybody here. You took the time out of your lives to come out and support this. So I want you all, especially the younger children here, I want them to know that you are making a difference. Your being here has an impact on what happens. And I want you to go home knowing that it's acknowledged. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, thank you.
So, my question is, Mr. Clark, at this point, if we're going, do you need an official anything from us?
No, I think based on the straw poll, I think the general consensus was bigger building, double lights, a little bit of additions here and there, and I think the marching orders are in place, so we
Okay.
can get moving right now.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Let there
Okay,
be
so then,
light.
what?
I said, let there be light.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So then how many of you want to scratch your names off, or you still want to come
Still
on
want to
up?
speak?
Yeah?
Yes? Yes.
Okay. Sean
Thank you.
Kushnick?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
So I can basically take this, crumble it up, and throw it out. Coming into this, I prepared, I watched a video of, I believe, your last town council meeting, and I said, I feel so bad for you folks up here. The insanity, like Madam Mayor, you just made mention of. I'm in the public transportation industry, and whenever we do something good for the riding public, we call it a good news story. And tonight, I think Hal has their good news story. So from the bottom of my heart, from my team, I just want to thank you all for coming together and doing something really outstanding for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Bastardi?
Hi, how you doing? I am the president of Howell United Soccer Club. We want
Hi.
to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is amazing. I don't think anyone actually brought this up, but I believe, and this is true, that Howell United, the softball team and the lacrosse team, they are co-ed and they are all female, and we're the only organizations that don't have lights. So it's been hard to tell our daughters that.
Yeah.
Over, I think it's like 60% of our people are female in our club. So this is really important to them, important to me. It's been a long fight that we've had, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
you.
Chris.
Danielle Marshall? Hi.
So unfortunately, there always has to be one sour grape in the bunch. For those of you that don't know, some of these guys know who I am. I'm actually the president of Howell South Little League. And as much as I know some of these guys and respect and agree wholeheartedly that something needs to be done for these guys, there's 13 organizations in our town, and we are all independent of our own. We have to pay our own electric, we have to pay our own maintenance, we have to pay our own plumbing. Our electric bill for 2021 was $11,000. Our field maintenance was $6,600. Our janitorial services for our bathrooms was $2,000 with zero support from Howell Township. That is all registration-based. Pam, you're a baseball mom. You can attest. Our numbers are failing. Little League is a dying sport. We have 3 organizations in our town, and amongst the 3 of us, we come together, we work together, and we try everything we can to build it back up. And it's very difficult with travel and high school and middle school sports. So all I ask is that maybe we can all come together and find a reasonable solution to help the other organizations as well. I know you guys have been making the rounds, offering us some needs of support, but you know, these are big expenses. You're talking about $20,000 to $25,000 a year just in my league. That's not north, that's not south, that's not central. So, you know, for the town to just absorb all of their needs and we're still left to flounder is a little tough pill to swallow. So it's not that I don't support these guys. I do what I do for the kids, which is why these guys all do what they do. So I'm not against it. I'm just asking you guys to take a little bit better of a look at your plan and think of the other 12 organizations that are here that need help too. We personally have Purple Park. I mean, Matt and I are constantly in contact because we're constantly being vandalized because we have the park, we have the skate park, we have the iceless hockey rinks. We were just out talking about the people driving behind into the lake and doing donuts on our t-ball field that's not fenced in. So I'm just asking you guys to maybe come together with a better plan for everyone as opposed to just one organization or two organizations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle.
As I stated, Danielle, this is the start. We're not leaving anyone out. So, I was by your field, and I saw the tire tracks. I saw what's going on, and maybe, your needs are different than someone else's. Maybe you need cameras, someone else doesn't. So we'll get there, okay?
And with that said, Councilman Bonovich, I do remember we did have a concept plan for Deerwood Park, and Danielle, my son plays over there, and he's there all the time. And we did come up, the council, with a concept plan for Deerwood Park, and it went nowhere. So we did make some concessions as well, and I know Councilman Bonovich has been over there, and I've been over there, and Matt. There are things being done in every single park. It just may not be what specifically you'd think needs on a greater scale. We're scaling down. Soldier Memorial needs the most attention right now. But I know between Councilman Bonovich and myself, we spent times with all the sporting teams and asked for a wish list. And I know Matt's been working to get those things done. So please don't feel that anybody's being slighted. As far as, helping them out, we just had this conversation about paying for the lights and having to redo the leases with these teams. So they'll be absorbing some of the costs as well, if that's correct. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to be clear, Danielle, that's all.
Alan Tabak?
Evening, everybody.
Hi.
How are you? Alan Tabak, 47 Brunswick Drive. First of all, the transparency's been tremendous. This is my first rodeo at this, so the camaraderie is awesome.
You came to a good meeting. Yeah. It goes downhill from here.
It's different. And similar to what the young lady said about, what we're looking to do at Soldier and other parks, I'm all about Soldier. I'm a soccer guy, you see it. We lose talent to other towns. We are surrounded by lights and nicer fields and nicer facilities everywhere. So we're grooming these kids, we're growing these kids, and then we're sending them to everybody else. We are Howell. We are local business. Let's keep everybody here. I know we're all in support of it. It's tremendous, like getting our kids outside, having the ability to have them play in the fall under some lights instead of under some gas-powered generators and then walking to a porta potty or to the woods. We're giving these kids the ability to go outside. It's tremendous. Keep them in Howell. And for the other sports teams too that need the facilities, this is a great place to start, and let's not leave them hanging because we don't want to lose the baseball kids either. I'm not a baseball guy, but I want to see kids in Howell. We can do other things with these lights. It will generate income. I spent $100 a week paying another facility to have my kids play soccer. Howell kids spending money in other towns. We're not the only team there. It will bring in money, it'll bring in opportunities, it'll bring in money for other facilities. Let's keep it in Howell. And thanks for your support. It's tremendous tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Tina Smilek?
Do you want to keep Soldier Memorial separate from the agenda, keep nice flow going?
Okay.
I mean, can I come back up after, because I don't think everybody wants to stay for, unless everybody's staying for the whole
No,
agenda. I'll go
if
through.
if you have a comment, then let's do it now.
Okay, first, I just want to start by bigger building, good. Recreation, parks, it brings the value of the town up, it brings the community up, it brings more people in that want to live here. It's a great thing. As far as lighting goes, I just want to throw out there, do you use Musco lighting for all your other fields? Yes? Musco lighting is very good. What Musco lighting allows you to do is put meters on your field, so you're only charging the teams for what they're using and not doing a charge. So maybe that's something you might want to look at that might help them a little. is if they're metered, make sure they're metered when they go in. And then also what it does is it allows you either by phone, by computer, or anything to turn lights on and off. So we're not wasting them, just leaving them on. The older lights may not do that. So speaking on my health for myself, not that I work for Freehold Township, but what we do there is we've metered all of our, yeah, so I didn't know if you did that here. So when you do water fountains, please do water fountains with bottle fillers. It's a big difference. These days and age, people are trying to not use so much plastics and everything. If you put an extra water fountain in there, make sure it has a doggy dish to it. They have the water fountains with the doggy dish on the bottom.
Great idea.
You want people to come to the park. I love the idea about the new playground, handicap accessible. We got great grants from the county. The county will give you great grants for this because there are very few of them. I think there's maybe 8 in Monmouth County, 9 in Monmouth County. So to have the extra playground and have it for handicap accessible is a great idea. One thing I do want to make sure of, when we tap into this sewer, is this going to open it up for anybody else to tap into this sewer?
No, that was gone over when this program was first talked about a few years ago. Because the municipality is doing it, that doesn't open it up for developers.
Okay. I just want to put it on the record to make sure, because we do have a developer across the street that they bought the Pierce property, which we wanted and we didn't get, and they own the property next to it. I would think they want to cluster develop and want to build there and probably donate the front back to it. I just want to be very careful that we don't overdevelop this area also. You have kids here, you want to make this, you know what, you got to watch the warehouses, you've got to watch everything in this, because we don't want trucks going down this road, and these kids either walking across the street, from Howell Day, we walk across that street all the time. You need to be very careful and think ahead. This is a great idea, but let's think to the future of this too, how we can restrict, I don't know, because kids are there, if we can make any restrictions in the area to keep that traffic down and keep it more of a calm area in that over there. Public Works maintaining it, does that mean we're going to have Public Works there on the weekends too and do we have Public Works work on the weekends?
We don't currently, but that will be subject to the lease agreements with the clubs.
Okay,
I would imagine they would have to partake in some of that if they're using them during off hours.
just to let you know, it builds up quick, especially if there's a tournament, it builds up quick in there. We just built a bathroom, we're building another bathroom. This price right here, it's spot on. Don't be surprised maybe if it comes in a little higher when you get quotes back, but that's basically the going rate of what's going on. So I don't foresee a problem with it, and I think it's great for the community. And it would be nice to see. I know there's a problem with Little League North too in their building. It never was properly done. So yes, there's so much in this town. Parks and recs in this town have been depleted for so many years now. So great to look at it. So great job, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry I have to change subjects now, unless, but I'm going to go to...
1 minute remaining.
Okay, I'm going to go to, I'm just going to go to the developers agreement real quick that we're talking about and the settlement. This has been going on for 30 years. And what really, really upsets me about this is the plaintiff alleges Howell is wrong, acting wrongly. This applicant and owner has acted wrongly for the last 30 years. They've wasted taxpayer money since 1989. They've sued us, they've gone to us. We've had personal residents that actually created their own, back in the early 2000s, created their own and hired their own lawyers. This developer has caused us so much pain and aggravation in this community that I don't think you should give them a settlement agreement, because they've wasted more of our money than we could ever waste of theirs. And for our council to have questions and then them get upset because their questions aren't answered, there should never be a developer's agreement that comes here without starting at council first to get your opinions. Yes, we have a lawyer that should negotiate the contract, but your opinions are what matters. We vote for you, the 5 of you. So before the next developer's agreement, sit down and please get your question on the table, what we want. 4 stories isn't here, but it's not your guys' fault we're getting 4 stories. This
5
was done.
minutes.
Can I just have a couple minutes?
I have You have to vote.
Motion and a second.
I'll
and
make a
vote.
motion to extend our time.
Second.
So, you know what, they've wasted our professional time, they wasted our planning board time, they wasted our residents' time. This is all just bullying, plain and simple from our developers, and we keep letting them bully us. I don't know how you're gonna vote on developers agreement. I know we're stuck between a rock and a hard place here, because I don't know why the planning board got to vote on this with a 2004 developers agreement. I don't know why that they had a plan in place that expired, and we're still allowing them to do 4 stories and be grandfathered in. There's so many points that make no sense on this. And you know what? I can't blame any of yous, because this started in 1989, and this has been carried over and over and over again. You guys are picking up a mess that started a long, long time ago. I don't care Democrats, I don't care Republicans, you're all in the middle of it. Just get it done, and get it done in a feasible way, and stop letting these developers try to take over here. It's not what we need. According to the complaint, Councilwoman Baumich opposed due to their height, while Councilwoman Richmond opposed solely based on political gamemanship. It has to stop. Stop the politics, please, guys. I know it's an election year. Be nice to each other. You know what? You represent us. So if you guys are fighting, that represents the town as a whole. So when you are on Facebook and you're going at each other and, you know, you're making comments at each other, you're taking down the town. You're not just taking down yourselves. Stop the political gamemanship. Everybody. I'm not singling anybody out. I've seen in the last probably 2 months, I've seen threatening people, their families that will enter the political rings. We've had a comment saying that it was a resident deserved to die because as a person they didn't share the fondness of each other. I mean, there's so many things, and it's so absurd what's going on here. You represent us. Everything you like, everything that comes out of your mouth, you represent Howell residents. You represent Howell Township. Straighten up. It's a political year, I know. But work together, because when you work together, this is what happens. You make the town happy. We get baseball fields. We get everything. Work together. Stop attacking each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris? I'm sorry.
So I had a lot to say, but I think based on tonight's meeting, I appreciate you guys taking the consideration of the lights in the bathrooms. I think it's going to do wonders for the community. It's going to do wonders for the teams around us. But I was going to hold back my talk, but these two wanted to say something to you, so I brought them up.
Lower the mic.
Give him the mic.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I play for Howell United, and I really would love it if there was lights, because, like, when we have practice, it gets so dark sometimes, and we have to end it, so I would love it if we would have lights.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Ken Kerr?
Hi, thank you. I'd like to give my time to the girls. I did have a lot more to say also. Ken Kerr, 17 Drum Court, longtime Howell resident. I have 3 children that have worked their way all the way through Howell. Pretty much played every sport all the way through to high school. I was a coach of Howell girls softball. I was a assistant coach of Howell Pride lacrosse, and also Howell United Soccer Club. I've spent a lot of time at that field. I commend the professionals for some great concepts, and I commend the council for pushing it through. Great job, appreciate it. It's a win-win for everybody. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Casey, I have a question for you. He's actually a friend of mine. You said you're a lifelong Howell. How'd you get that Boston accent? I'm just asking. Oh, okay, you said lifelong.
Did I do that?
Yeah, you did. Lifelong. Thanks, Casey.
Coach Jack.
Huh?
He coached Jack for soccer, yeah, first team.
I coached his daughter.
John Burskins? Did I kill that name too?
I was amazed you actually said it. You're probably the first person that's ever said that name correctly.
Oh, thank you.
So I expected to come up here and sort of talk about a lot of points that you guys already brought up, are in agreement on. A lot of other people talked about it. So I just want to say thank you. I'm very excited and very appreciative of what's going on here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come up, please?
How you doing, Council? My name is Joe Nagy, 15 Wisteria Place. I've been a member of Howell Girls Softball for the last 9 years. I also coach the NJ Heat travel softball team for the last 8. And I think sometimes those girls get a little pushed to the side. Our league as a whole has given over $150,000 to charities such as Spina Bifida, to St. Jude's, over $20,000 to college scholarships for the girls who go through our league. We are there every weekend, pumping fields with girls, with my daughters, with headlamps on their head, just so they get a chance to play. And sometimes, and Danielle, I know you very well, and sometimes the girls get sort of pushed aside because the boys do have beautiful field, and God bless it, you deserve it. Every kid that plays deserves a legitimate field to play on. So I want to commend you guys for finally getting down to Soldier Field and seeing what these girls do, because they are phenomenal. And we work in partnership with Howell United. It's just as important for them to be there. And the gentleman who said it right, we lose more girls. They come up through our program, and when you can go to Howell Township and play for the Breakers, because they have Liberty Oak, or it's Michael J. T. Park now, right? When I was a kid, it was Liberty Oak. So we're tired of losing kids to there. And just to keep them inside Howell, I mean, we lose kids enough to the high schools.
Sure.
To Colts Neck and the Howell Township. So let's keep our travel teams and our rec teams in Howell. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come up? Okay, so at this time, I would like a motion to close this portion.
I'll make a motion to close public comment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, where were we?
Did I have a second?
Second.
A second? Thank you.
And we all ayed, right?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye? Aye. Okay, does anybody want to pull any resolution
They already
to
se-
vote on it separately?
They're already separated, I think. Yeah, they are.
We don't like
Yeah, there's 3 that are separate at the end, I see.
Yeah, but
They're not really.
I'm going to pull anything
I'm
else
seeing
out.
out of the whole consent agenda.
Okay. You want to make them,
Before that,
you good?
before,
Yeah, so up to
so
116, Mayor?
up to 116.
I'm okay with it.
I'll make a motion to move the consent agenda up through R22, 116.
So R
One-
22,
100 to
100
116.
dash 100 to
116.
116.
I'll
Can I
second.
second that?
Nope, good.
I will.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. I would like a motion to vote on Resolution R 22-117. Allison? Will you read the?
This is a resolution providing for transfers between budget appropriations contained in the 2021 appropriation reserves municipal budget.
I'll make a motion to move R22-117.
Second.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Resolution R 22-118.
You have to read anything, or can I just appoint, can I make? a-
Resolution appointing a member to
Yeah.
Howell Alliance.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jose Orozco.
Second.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Resolution 22-119, resolution authorizing the settlement of certain litigation involving the township 6461 Route 9 Howell LLC. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move R22-119.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Any discussion? Are we good?
We're good.
This is 4 months in the coming. Are we going to say anything?
We
All right, I would just like, 4 months, we all learned a lot. But the one thing that I would like to ask of council, when we get these 43 acres, if 10, how many, Matt Howard looked into this, he's it's about 10 to 16 acres are buildable, correct?
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm always looking at 2025 and I'm scared of it, COLA. So in Tinton Falls, they did, Joe brought this up as well, Mr. Clark. They have a veterans affordable housing, and they put 70 units on 6 acres. We have 16. When you do housing for veterans, it's 3 for 1.
Correct.
So if we could get 70 there, maybe 100 there, we could get 200, maybe 300 credits. So, this, it was difficult the last 4 months. Not happy, but let's make the best of this. It's been going on for 30 years. We inherited this, but let's make something positive out of this. So I would like to ask council to, let's look into that. Also, the Tinton Falls project, none of the money came from Tinton Falls. $23 million came from the DCA. So I think it's something worth looking into, and if we'd like to ask the professionals to look into that.
Yeah, actually, ironically, I had said something to Matt that I'd seen, and I was thinking along the same lines, because sometimes we do think alike, Councilman. And I had sent it to the manager and Matt, a program that helps build them and has like prefab buildings, and they have the funding and all the stuff. It was just recently, I just sent it over, as we were talking about that property, that we thought it'd be, the need for it, I'm not sure, maybe, so we're working on the zoning and stuff, it's all
Yeah,
something.
there's 400,000 veterans in the state.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's like,
I agree,
and
so.
the one company I did look at, the one non-for-profit was called Soldier On, so
Oh.
maybe we could look into that.
Yeah, I think I gave you VCO or something like that, the VCO project or something.
So,
Yeah.
And I'd like
Ready
to
for the-
thank Mr. Clark for bringing this to our attention about 7 months ago. So, thank you.
Yeah, you guys
Mr.
worked
Clark.
hard, thank you.
I appreciate it.
we ready?
Go for it, Councilman.
Okay, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Unfinished business. It was? This is for public hearing and adoption of ordinances.
Ordinance 022-5, an ordinance amending Article 24, Chapter 139, Section 69, subsection B, entitled Registration Fees for Recreation of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Howell.
Should I open this up for public discussion? Seeing no discussion wanted, may I have a motion to close it?
Motion to close?
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 22-5?
Motion to adopt ordinance 22-5.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. Introduction of ordinance. Ordinance 0-22-6, an ordinance amending Chapter 188 Land Use, Article 1, Title Purpose Definitions, Section 4, entitled Definitions and Rules of General Applicability to the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Howell. May I have a motion to introduce the ordinance 22-6?
I'll make a motion to introduce the ordinance.
I'll second.
Roll call, Councilman Bonovich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
Yes.
Mayor Berger?
Yes. For future information, I think April 2nd, is that the Easter Hunt Day? Is it April 2nd, I think?
It is posted on the website.
Yes, April 2nd, Saturday, April 2nd, Easter in the Park. So I want to put that out there for everybody. Our next scheduled meeting will be on March 15th, 2022, executive session at 6 and regular session at 7.
If I may, Mayor?
Go ahead, please.
I just have a statement to make. Regrettably, I have to resign my Class 3 seat on the Planning Board due to a health issue. And as a result of this, I'd like to nominate John Bonovich to accept the Class 3 seat for the remainder of the 2022 year.
If I have the time, sure.
Well, we would need a motion in a second.
I will make a motion to place John Bonovich as the Class 3 for the remainder of the year.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Thank you.
You know what? I have to, with the summer coming up, I'm not going to have the time for that. I regrettably, I can't do it.
Do we do a roll call? I mean, there's a motion on the floor, so what is
Not
the procedure?
accepting it.
He doesn't have, I mean,
Well, even if I'm going to resign from it, so don't even, yeah.
Mr.
And you know what? It'd be nice to have a conversation prior. I don't think that this was the right way to do that.
Well, this just came up for me this afternoon, so.
Well, we have a motion and a second, so the vote's pending. I don't know how you guys want to vote on it, but, you got to vote.
Okay, I can take the roll call. Councilman Bonovich?
No.
Councilwoman Brennan?
Yes?
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Richmond?
yes.
Mayor Berger?
No. So my thing is, if he gets accepted on, so, okay, you put him on, he just said to you he's going to resign. What's the sense in, I don't understand.
No, it's not politics.
Couldn't make it through the night, that's all. It had to happen. It always happens.
So there has to be a Class 3 member appointed, and it's appointed by the governing body, so
I've already served on the planning board for 1 year, so I put my time in.
Yeah, the mayor has her designee. It was deputy mayor last year. It was Councilwoman O'Donnell this year until, I guess, health issues or whatever is going on. So planning board needs a Class 3 member. It's not optional, and it's selected by council.
I'm sorry, say that again.
It's part of the duties of serving on council, I suppose. I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks on it, so.
So then let's nominate Councilwoman Brennan.
You could. We've already made our nomination though, Mayor, so.
Well, as of right now, Councilman Bonovich is appointed to it, so if he wants to submit a resignation, then, we can discuss who's going on at the next meeting, but
I think
we're
this is
going to
so
be here all
silly.
night otherwise. So,
And I do agree that if you were going to do this, even 15 minutes before, to ask him if he could serve.
I've been placed on committees for 20 years.
Yes, but to ask, come on.
To have a discussion
Common
prior,
decency.
not put on the spot. Come on, Miss O'Donnell.
I didn't think.
The man works all summer long.
Everyone works, and we find the time. We've all served on the planning board. We've all served on the planning board, Mayor. Let's be fair here. Councilman Bonovich, with all due respect, we talk about the building, you have all these plans, now's your opportunity. You're running for office, so now's your opportunity. I'm not serving. Suzanne Brennan just became a council member. You were actually for me, you were the easy one.
You're correct. I have three jobs in the summer and then a fourth as running for an election, so where's the time? Split me in three. Do me the favor.
Split you in three.
Respectfully, I was thinking of a senior member with the experience and at least the time on the council
All
that
right,
would
well,
allow.
we'll discuss this at the next meeting. Okay, guys?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Absolutely.